Hello, listeners. My name is Casey, and I am the host of The Cult Vault, a podcast that looks into some of history's most notorious cults. Join me as I look at cults, cult behavior, and dive deep into the psyche of some of the heinous leaders of these movements. Listen to interviews with survivors and testimonies from those who have been affected by these sects, but live to tell their stories. If you enjoy well-researched, no-nonsense accounts, you will enjoy this podcast. Join me on all major streaming platforms at The Cult Vault. I hope to hear from you soon.
In Chicago, two comedian skeptics named Andy and Art were mysteriously abducted by the illusionary mastermind and conspiracy theorist known only as Mr. Bunker. The following serves as a record of Bunker's attempt to convince non-believers of the truth about conspiracies and paranormal activity. Andy and Art give an uninterrupted presentation and verdict on the plausibility of these offbeat topics, delivering what they call the whole enchilada. Will Mr. Bunker convince these two skeptics any of this is real? Will it convince you?
Welcome to Mr. Bunker's Conspiracy Time Podcast. As always, I'm your co-host, Arthur Stone, and with me, looking so pretty, is your co-host, Andy Hart.
Hey, listeners, thanks for tuning in to the Mr. Bunker Conspiracy Time Podcast Hour here on your AM radio dial.
Where we're playing all the hits for lovemaking.
From the 70s, 80s, 90s, today, and especially 1969.
And the future. We have the music from the future.
We have the music from the future that you need to get it on.
Andy, it's funny that you bring up those years and also talk about the future, because today's topic is a topic that spans those years when it was supposed to be enacted.
Right.
And it might still happen one day in the future.
Yeah.
We don't know.
We don't know.
We are talking about
the Mayan calendar. Wait,
no.
No.
John Cusack's not here yet.
Not yet.
We're talking about Project Bluebeam.
Which I feel like should make a sound like pew. That's what a blue beam sounds like.
That's what a blue beam sounds like. This topic, listeners, kind of steals from every other big name conspiracy topic on the planet. I mean, We're talking HARP weather control technology. We're talking about UFOs. We're talking about New World Order Illuminati stuff. We're talking about MK Ultra mind reading control programs. I mean, we're talking about satanic cults. We're talking about it all, Andy.
This is a synthesis of so many other conspiracy elements.
It's crazy. And it's a great one, listeners. So if you enjoy all that kind of stuff, you're going to love today's episode. And if you enjoy Andy and I, well, you're going to love it anyway. We're just cute little rascals. Andy, if listeners want to jump straight to that topic, though, maybe they're busy and they just want to get straight to the research.
Yeah, I get it, listeners.
What should they do?
Hey, listeners, you know what you should do? You should go into the show notes, regardless of podcasting app. Check the show notes. Look for the timestamp. Then slide your slider on your device for this podcast to the specified timestamp. Then you can dive right into the research and skip the bits before.
Yeah, we like to, Andy and I like to do a little intro before we get into the research. And we like to talk about how the titular Mr. Bunker captured us this week. And Andy, this week's no different.
It is strangely the same.
You're here. I'm here.
Here we are again.
Tell me, Andy.
Yeah.
Riddle me. How did you get captured?
Art, I am known, I think to you and to probably the community of listeners here as a bit of a foodie.
Yeah, true. You like to eat?
I like to eat. I like to cook. I like to eat other people's cooking. enjoy food and I like food. And being a foodie means that I think what it means is that you're always on the pursuit for a great flavor, a delicious dish to eat. So lately I have become just enamored with the idea after seeing numerous commercials on television of heading to one of this country's very underrated restaurants, Applebee's, and underrated, yeah,
huh? Okay,
and helping myself to the special that's ongoing, all you can eat riblets and chicken fingers and French fries.
You love.
I'm a bit of a foodie.
Getting the end scraps that people have designed to be some sort of delicacy, like riblets or ribbons or chicken fingers.
The best part of any animal is the bone and the gristle. And
I think more true than ever with rib ends, probably one of the biggest scams. The amount of meat you're getting is just,
Yeah, I love sucking on bones though. And chicken fingers, yeah. I mean, all
chicken
day long.
Wings, yeah.
Like drop it in a bucket.
Mm-hmm.
French fries, hook me up. So
hook me up, baby.
I headed over to my local Applebee's and I decided to get the all you can eat riblets and chicken fingers and French fries.
That's right. The new special.
And I told the server, I said, keep it coming.
Keep it coming.
Because I haven't eaten for 2 hours. And
does
I am
this
famished.
look like a man who had all he could eat?
Thank you, Lionel Hutz. Rest in peace, Phil Hartman. And I said, keep it coming. And let me tell you, this server did not disappoint. I'm sitting there, face and hands and shirt and pants smeared with barbecue sauce and ketchup and honey mustard. Gotta have a lot of dipping sauces.
You gotta. You can't just
stuff.
have like one. What if you're not feeling the honey mustard? Maybe, you want some ranch or you want some Polynesian sauce or some kind of zesty buffalo.
Yeah. So I'm dipping and dunking my way through this meal, and they just keep the baskets coming. And before I know it, I mean, I guess they were bringing them faster than. I mean, I probably should have specified you could just wait until I finish.
Like a Brazilian steakhouse, you flip a card,
right?
More meat.
So they just keep bringing the baskets over. So eventually, the table, it's stacked with baskets of riblets and baskets of chicken fingers and baskets of fries. And I'm like, this is pretty cool. Like this is really all I can eat. And so I'm diving into some more crispy, juicy, succulent chicken tenders. And the pile of baskets starts to rattle a little bit, like it's shaking.
Oh, that's weird.
And I'm thinking, well, there's probably the servers on the other side, refilling my Diet Pepsi. And that's probably what it is.
Not a Diet Dr. Pepper.
Well, they don't always have it on tap at these establishments. That would be my choice. So I just think there's probably nothing to it. And, I just keep stuff in my face, and the next thing I know, the baskets come to life. There's a riblet man, standing there with chicken fingers, and
French fry hair,
French fry body hair, and it's all over too.
Yeah,
the French fries are all over.
Okay,
and there's a huge wad of French fries at the crotch. I mean.
A good bush.
Yeah, I mean it's
almost like a blooming onion.
A large wad of French fries just sprawling out from the crotch.
And a little mozzarella stick peeking out. Listeners, guess where you that is.
And there's marinara on the tip, so should see a doctor, Riblet Man.
Pre-marinara. Or post.
So Riblet Man rises up in his fury, and he uses his powers to spray me in barbecue sauce and pelt me with chicken tenders.
Oh my God.
So I become sticky and delirious.
And delicious.
From head trauma and the hot oil splashing me
Oh
in the
no.
face. And then the coup de grace, he takes out a giant French fry that's hard as diamond and just bonks me on the noggin. And I get really woozy. And Mr. Bunker rushes in and he says some words in Latin, and the Riblet Man just all falls apart.
What?
On the floor. And then Mr. Bunker scoops me up in a humongous burlap sack and dumps that into one of a giant Applebee's to-go bag. And then his car is in the curbside pickup parking spot. And so he drops me in there and drives me to the bunker.
Oh my God. Ouch. My cheeks hurt.
Is everything okay?
Oh God. Jesus Christ, Andy. Oh my God. He's like a warlock.
Yeah. He conjured this Riblet golem into existence.
He conjured a, not a flesh golem, but a fast food golem or something.
A
fresh
fast
golem.
Casual.
Yeah.
A fast casual golem.
Oh my God. An apple behemoth.
Yeah.
Jesus. That's scary, Andy.
Yeah. That was frightening.
Wow.
Dark magic.
Yeah. Dark magic is at play.
Yeah.
Jeez.
All at your local Applebee's.
All your local. That's why you shouldn't go there.
Well, I'm a foodie.
Go to Chili's.
I'm a foodie.
That kind of shit doesn't happen at Chili's.
Well, Chili's is on my list. 2 for $10.
Yeah. You're going to go at 210?
Yeah.
I'll see you there.
I'm going to go by myself and get every combination. I like to tell the restaurants that I'm a food critic so that they don't feel weird about it, but then I eat all of the things they bring me.
Aren't you worried that he's compromising the flavors? He had like 12 Big Mike burgers and a full slab of ribs. No. Trust me. He told me he's one of the best in the city.
He said he's a foodie. Repeatedly.
Oh, God. Wow, Andy, I got to say, dark magic is at play. I think Bunker did something. I think he's talking to some dark forces. I mean, today's topic deals with a satanic new age religion plan.
Yeah.
I don't know what Bunker has gotten into.
Yeah.
But I was walking around having a little walk today.
Yeah.
At the corner of my eye, I saw what I thought looked like you.
Oh.
Now, Andy, listeners don't know this, but you know this. This isn't the first time we've spotted each other in the wild. It happens occasionally. I'll get on a train car, and all of a sudden I'll see you in the back, slumped over, needles sticking out of your body. You know, the usual.
Every day I go to acupuncture, and I leave work with the needles still in.
I'll see you sitting in the back on a crowded train full of people on the back seat with your legs spread wide open, your feet up in holsters, like you're at a OBGYN.
Yeah.
And you're just, isn't it OBGYN? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's what a gynecologist is, right?
I mean, that's an obstetrician and a gynecologist.
Mm.
So you could have said gyno.
Gyno. Like you're at a gyno. Not like a guy I know. Yeah, you got to see that gyno I know. My gyno? My gyno.
You know gyno?
I know a gyno. Anyway, sometimes I'll see you on the train, and it's always such a sweet little treat when you spot a friend in the wild, isn't it?
Sometimes, yeah.
Oh. But whenever you spot me in the wild, it's
sure,
always a
that's
treat.
fine.
Sure. My favorite move is I love to take a photo of you and then send it to you.
Yeah.
To let you know that I'm watching you from the other side of the train, and I'm waiting for the people to clear out so that I can get to where you're at and then stand in front of you.
That's usually my cue, listeners, to get off the train.
Andy, this isn't your stop, I'll say, and you'll say, it is now.
And I'll ignore you completely.
Well, Andy, I was walking around and I thought I spotted you.
Yeah?
I saw a man of your stature,
Poor
and
guy.
your size,
Ugh.
with your gait.
Wow.
You have a very...
Lilting gait.
Yes, lilting. You have a very recognizable gait.
Yeah.
Much like an animator animating a cartoon walk cycle. Andy bobbles up and down, his hands flying in the wind. But you don't, you go knuckle first.
Yeah.
You know?
I'm a knuckler.
Yeah. And you have a very flowy gait.
You're fast. They call you Sonic. They call me Knuckles.
We're yet to find our tail. Our tails.
We're echidnas and hedgehogs. We don't have tails.
Yeah, that's right. So anyway, I thought I saw you.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought, I'm going to play a little prank on my buddy Andy. I see him walking around. I'm going to sneak up behind him and tap him on the shoulder from the opposite side of his shoulder.
Oh.
Do one of those, then you have you flip around and look at me.
If you did that to me for real, I would slap you.
Jeez, Andy, I forgot you have anger issues.
Yeah, I do.
And severe PTSD from being poked. I'm sorry for what the Pillsbury Doughboy made you do.
Don't ever Pokemon.
Oh, God.
When he's just trying to exist.
Yeah. So anyway, I thought I saw you. And I was going to run up behind you. I ran up behind what I thought was you. So I thought this was clearly you. He's wearing a big purple polo.
Mm-hmm. It sounds like me.
And it was definitely you. And so I ran up and I poke you, standing on the side of your shoulder, and you freeze.
Yeah.
What I think was you. All of a sudden, Andy, much like my enemy, the owl, your head turns 180 degrees.
All right, my head doesn't
just
do that.
like in The Exorcist. I know your head doesn't do that for real. And he goes, and you turn around. This isn't Andy. This is some sort of evil, like homonucleus, some sort of evil being, creature created from you and your DNA.
From my DNA?
Your eyes were pearly white.
Just like my real eyes.
Yeah, but there were no pupils.
Oh.
And I could see weird seams along parts of your body, like you were some kind of
Stitched together
flesh golem of evil and dark forces.
Jeez.
I was frozen with fear. That's when I knew immediately this was a bunker trick. So this evil golem captures me and grabs me in a bear hug. And then I'm wriggling, trying to get away, but I can't. It obviously imbued you with some sort of super strength.
Don't refer to the golem as me.
Andy, it's so hard to tell. There's two. It's like two Andys. I can't tell which one's real.
I'm seeing double here. 4 Andys.
I couldn't tell, Andy. I couldn't tell. It looked just like you. But it dragged me all the way to the bunker. I couldn't get away. Its grip was just too strong.
Is this... So he made 2 golems?
I'm telling you, I think bunker...
Wait, was yours real or was it some sort of was it a trick? Was it a real golem? Is that thing still around the bunker?
Wait. A homunculus.
A homunculus?
A homunculus. It was like a homunculus. Very small human or humanoid creature.
But it was my size. You saying I'm small?
A homunculus. Homunculus heart.
Is this thing still around the bunker?
It might be.
I'm going to go kill it.
Oh, what was that? Did you hear that, Andy?
No.
Could have been it scurrying. Was that you scurrying past my leg?
Yeah.
Oh. I think it still lives here, Andy.
I'm going to find it and kill it.
I don't know if you should do that, Andy. I don't know what kind of dark forces Bunker used to summon this creature and to summon your fast casual golem.
Nobody uses my DNA.
Nobody. Literally nobody.
Nobody's ever done it before and nobody ever will again. That's the Andy pledge.
Andy, I don't know what to say. I think Bunker's up to some evil tricks. I think he's into some weird shit.
This is 2 castings he's done in one abduction.
He's like a little warlock.
Yeah, he's changed.
I mean, it used to be all fun and games with bonking us on the head and building weird structures.
Used to be elaborate costumes and structures.
Yeah.
And now he's turned to the dark arts.
The dark arts. That's right. I guess we got to start the defense against the dark arts. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Let's burn him down.
Let's not talk about that on air. He's gonna hear you saying that.
Right.
He's gonna do some devious shit.
We just got to find his book.
Listeners, find out. You got to keep listening. Are we gonna find that book? We don't know.
The book that holds the secrets that lets Bunker be a warlock.
Well, anyway, we got some secrets to expose in today's episode, Andy.
Yeah, we're going to be exposing ourselves a little bit here.
That's
by giving our verdicts on the topic at hand.
It's a real exhibition, I'll tell you that. We're a couple of exhibitionists, and we're going to expose all the secrets of Project Bluebeam right now on Mr. Bunker's Conspiracy Time podcast. Andy boy, today's topic, Project Bluebeam, is the hodgepodge, is the smorgasbord, is the TJ Maxx bargain bin of conspiracy theories, Andy. It's got New World Order.
Ooh.
It's got worldwide catastrophe and alien abductions.
Ooh.
It's got MK Ultra mind control tech.
Oh.
It's got NASA satellite hologram projections of the Antichrist.
Oh. Ooh-wee! Jeez, Art. My head is spinning. Just what the heck is this theory?
In short, Project Bluebeam is a theory that claims NASA and a cabal of Illuminati-esque forces are working together to implement a new age religion with the Antichrist at its head and start a new world order via a technologically simulated second coming or rapture style religious event. Truly, Project Bluebeam is the unified conspiracy theory, the theory to end all theories, as it draws upon many of the major conspiracy theories throughout our time. It was conceived by French-Canadian journalist and theorist named Sergei Monast in a book he published in the early 1990s. That book, now lost to time and discontinued by its publisher, is quite rare. However, Monast gave lectures on the theory in 1994. The original lectures, all in French, were mostly lost, but were translated to English and documented in various GeoCities sites.
Ooh, blast from the past.
Oh, yeah. We'll get into more about Monast and the sites in a bit. But, Andy, now that you've got your Widow Blanky and your Baba of Milky, you want to start getting into the topic for the listeners now? Who's my big guy? Who's my champ?
Me.
Yeah, that's right.
Yes, Art. As you mentioned, Project Bluebeam is about creating a new age religion. Much like in the Lord of the Rings books, there was one ring to rule them all. In Project Bluebeam, there will be one religion to rule them all. It will be a religious event so significant, so technologically convincing, that it will cause mass hysteria, panic, and destruction. All the major figures from every world religion, Jesus, Muhammad, Buddha, the flying spaghetti monster, etc., will project themselves across the sky and explain that humans got religion totally wrong and that we're all a bunch of big dumb babies. They'll say it's time to come together in peace and unity to form a new religion, the one religion. The figures will then morph together like Voltron and form a new badass religion figure as the head of the new age religion. Except this figure is a fucking lie. It's actually the Antichrist. Anyway, Art, just how the HE double hockey sticks would the New World Order even begin to implement this dastardly plan?
Well, Manast outlines 4 exact steps that will take place in order for Project Bluebeam to be complete. The first step. The first step concerns the breakdown of all archaeological knowledge. And just how the heck are they going to do that? By staging artificially created earthquakes across the globe at precise locations. These earthquakes, or as I like to call them, surface jiggles,
Right.
will supposedly uncover new discoveries that will explain how all the world's major religions were falsely interpreted. Essentially, the earthquake will unearth new arcane discoveries that will discredit all major religions. Just what could these discoveries be? Well, Manast doesn't give any examples per se, but he mentions that films and TV shows such as 2001: A Space Odyssey, Star Trek, Star Wars, and Jurassic Park all act as psychological preparations for this first step. For example, many plots in these works of complete fiction revolve around major scientific discoveries advancing human capabilities or society for better or worse. That is literally the plot of 2001. But according to Manast, films like Jurassic Park also deal with themes of evolution that can discredit God and essentially calls him a big old liar.
All right. So step 1, hypothetically speaking, is complete. They found some false proof from the far past that proved to all nations that their religions have all been misinterpreted and misunderstood. Now what? The second step. The second step involves a giant space show.
Ooh.
Yay! Art! I love a grand old laser light show.
Oh, wow.
It is cool. Goodness gracious, I just love smoking a big old fat doobie with my other burnout friends. You know, Seth Rogen, James Franco, Busy Phillips. We call ourselves the Freaks. And heading down the planetarium for a laser show set to Pink Floyd's Dark Side of the Moon.
Oh, wow. I didn't know you liked doing that so much.
It's
Andy.
cool. I love having fun with the Freaks. Anyway, back to Project Bluebeam. So after the earthquakes, there will be massive 3D optical holograms and sounds, laser projections of multiple holographic images in different parts of the world, each receiving a different image according to the predominating regional national religious faith. Essentially, in every part of the world, a god from the predominant regional religion will be hologrammed into the sky. This projection will speak in all languages.
Manast cites evidence for step 2 being Soviet technology. He claims they already have supercomputers fed with every world language, including perfect dialects, in his words, and fed them with minute physiopsychological particulars based on their studies of the anatomy and electromechanical composition of the human body and the studies of the electrical, chemical, and biological properties of the human brain. Now, it's worth mentioning that Manast's original book on this topic was published in the early 90s, and his lectures also came out in the early 90s. So technology is it's quite different now.
Yeah.
But just how is the holographic image displayed in the sky? Well, according to Manast, satellites will beam the projections onto a sodium layer hovering 60 miles above Earth. In fact, we see these tests of this technology every once in a while. They're called UFOs. All UFO sightings, according to Manast, are actually tests of the global Project Bluebeam 3D hologram system.
Whoa.
So, after the image of the gods is done explaining how the various scriptures have been misunderstood and misinterpreted, and that the religions of old are responsible for turning brother against brother, nation against nation, therefore old religions must be abolished to make way for the New Age, New World religion, through the Soviet supercomputer, they will morph together again like Voltron into one god of the new religion. And now we're on to
the third step. The third step involves using low-frequency waves to have the hologram god speak telepathically to everyone on the planet. These low-frequency waves would make people feel like their god was talking directly inside their mind. Longtime listeners of the show will be pleased to know that the same technology discussed in our MK Ultra episode is cited as evidence by Manast here. Indeed, The CIA allegedly has technology that can send messages into a person's mind. The Soviet supercomputer will aid the new God hologram here with its library of all human languages and dialects.
All right, Andy, I think we should take a moment to recap here in case anyone is feeling a little lost before we go on to step 4, which has multiple moving parts.
Right.
So, okay, here's Project Bluebeam so far. 1. Artificially created earthquakes uncover new secrets that make people doubt major religions. 2. A giant hologram laser show is projected onto sodium layers above Earth's surface. It depicts every major religion's god. 3. The god speaks telepathically into everyone's brain, aided by a Soviet supercomputer that knows every world language and dialect. And then the god tells everyone that religion is a sham. It Voltron morphs into a new god of the New Age religion, but that new god is actually the Antichrist. All right. Listeners, capiche? Capiche? Good. Time.
Wait, Art.
Oh.
But first.
Oh, okay.
Listeners, you're probably thinking, yeah, well, how does this guy know that every person in the world would even believe what they're seeing? Manast has an answer for that. He writes, naturally, this superbly staged falsification will result in dissolved social and religious disorder on a grand scale. Each nation blaming the other for the deception, setting loose millions of programmed religious fanatics through demonic possession on a scale never witnessed before.
Wow.
In addition, this event will occur at a time of profound worldwide political anarchy and general tumult created by some worldwide catastrophe. The United Nations even now plans to use Beethoven's Song of Joy as the anthem for the introduction for the New Age one world religion. End quote. And accent. So now, that's all fine and dandy. But what's this 4th step? The 3 sections of the step 4 also help shed light on how this entire conspiracy all comes together.
Okay, can I say it?
Yeah, go ahead.
The 4th step. The 4th step and final step has 3 parts and involves lots of supernatural manifestations. Take it away, Andy.
Ooh, baby. Part 1 of the 4th step. Making all humans believe alien invasions are taking place in every major city through the use of the satellite holograms. Why? This is to push each major nation into using its nuclear capability to strike back. In this manner, it would put each of these nations in a state of full disarmament before the United Nations after the false attack. Part 2 of Step 4. The second piece is to make all Christians believe the rapture is about to happen. Again, through the use of the satellite holograms, the New World Order will make it appear as if a good alien force is coming to take away the good Christians from the evil satanic ritual on Earth. But in reality, this is just a means of the NWO getting rid of people unwilling to adopt the New Age religion. Step 3 of Step 4. The third step gets a bit weird, like supernatural techromancer weird. The low-frequency waves used will allow supernatural forces, literally satanic ghosts, to travel through fiber optics, cable, telephone lines, and penetrate all electronic devices, which, at this point, will also have a special microchip installed that will allow them to do this.
Okay, again, this came out in the 90s, so there's no mention of how these ghosts will travel via Wi-Fi. So the goal of all this is to cause mass chaos. I mean, you got satanic ghosts running around, causing a muck. You got aliens invading. Ode to Joy won't stop playing. At this point, people will be driven mad and willing to finally embrace the New World Order and its New Age religion. But why do this? Why would the New World Order go to such extreme lengths to implement a new religion? Don't they know they can just start one? Like, literally, there's no rules. You could just start one.
Well, Art, the man likes to keep us down.
Okay.
They won't be happy until they achieve total control over us all. That's why we need to seize the means of production.
Oh, boy.
Rise up with me, my comrades, against these bourgeois pigs.
Oh, no.
We shall not live under their tyranny.
Jesus Christ, Andy, where'd you get that hammer and sickle?
Oh! Will you rise up with me, comrade, or lie in the mud like the dog you are? Sorry, Art. I I got a little carried away there.
I'll say.
Can I have my tools back, please? I need to cut the grass and hit myself in the head with those.
Oh, okay, sure, Andy. Here you go.
Ow. My head. Anyway, Art. Maness believes the societal chaos generated by Project Bluebeam on such a cataclysmic scale is exactly what the New World Order needs in order to gain full and total societal control.
That's right. He also cites a lot of MKUltra research as examples of the government attempting to control the masses and create a quote-unquote Manchurian candidate or programmed killer with no knowledge of what they've been asked to do. When proposing the question, would world governments actually do something like this? Would they actually promote terror on a scale that the Project Bluebeam entails? Manast says a definitive yes.
He states that the CIA and American governments had no issue meddling and attempting to control the government and lives of countries in Central America, using the MKUltra research among other covert operations to kill and torture citizens there, as well as turn their countries to chaos for power and control. He states, if you terrify the public and make them fear for their safety, they will allow you to implement draconian law enforcement practice, disarm them, and keep extensive records on them. And they only have to tell you that it is all to protect you, of course.
Manast also believes this promotes the decay of democracy and allows for society to search for new methods of thinking, which already have been lined out by the New World Order. He also lays out the exact goals for the New World Order. A lot of lists, listeners. Project Bluebeam is an ongoing satanic project, according to Manast, that will have 4 goals. And we'll expand upon these 4 goals in a minute with even more lists. The goal number 1 is to abolish all Christian traditional religions in order to replace them with one world religion based on the cult of man. 2, to abolish all national identity and national pride in order to establish a world identity and a world pride. 3, to abolish the family as known today in order to replace them with individuals all working for the glory of the new one world government. 4, to destroy all individualistic, artistic, and scientific creativity to implement a one world government, one mindset.
Manast is also heavily influenced by the idea of the New Age religion being a cult of man that will have us return to the dawning of the age of Aquarius, as referenced in the hit opening musical number from 1967's Hair, Aquarius. Sing it with me, Art.
When the moon is in the 7th house and Jupiter aligns with Mars, then peace will guide the planets and love will steer the stars. This is the dawning of the age of Aquarius. Age of Aquarius. Aquarius. Aquarius.
Wow. The fifth dimension makes another appearance on this podcast. This is perhaps why Manast originally believed Project Bluebeam would take place in 1983, as the age of Aquarius was associated with 1982. For a reason unbeknownst to Manast, it didn't take place in 1983, and as far as we know, hasn't since the time of this recording in 2019. What gives? But what else in the New World Order interested in removing, enforcing a part of Project Bluebeam?
Okay, more lists, listeners. Here are some other goals that are a part of that will take place because of Project Bluebeam. 1, the destruction of all people who believe in the Bible or worship Jesus Christ, and the complete disappearance of Christianity. 2, changing national laws to assure that Christian beliefs and symbols, like the cross, for instance, will be outlawed and unlawful. 3, religious holidays and ceremonies will be replaced with New Age festivals around the world. 4, the elimination and complete destruction of all secret societies and secret brotherhoods, lodges, and sanctuaries.
Ooh.
5, the New World Order also plans the abolition of all national currencies and the transfer of commerce to electronic cash through the superhighway. Number 5, luckily Manast. Anyway, we'll get into it.
Bitcoin.
But yeah, exactly. But finally, and arguably the most dastardly part of Project Bluebeam is its classification system. Indeed, After the New World Order initiates this new satanic New Age religion, what will it do with those that refuse to accept it?
The New World Order people have already built re-education concentration camps, and for those camps, they have established what they call the rainbow classifications of the New World Order prisoners. Prisoner class number 1. Classification of Christian children, as planned, is to be as human sacrifices where, within the Black Mass ceremonies, they will be forced to participate in any kind of sexual orgies or be kept as sexual slaves. 2. Classification of prisoners to be used in medical experiments, where drugs and new technologies will be tested on humans. 3. Classification of healthy prisoners for the International Organ Donation Center, where vital organs will be removed one by one while they are kept alive by mechanical devices. 4. Classification of all healthy underground workers. The New World Order is basically a worldwide dictatorship based upon the Luciferian religion, a dictatorship with the illusion of democracy. In order to maintain the illusion of democracy, camps and slave labor will be hidden underground in massive colonies that are being built as we write this report. 5. Classification of uncertain prisoners. In the International Re-Education Center, political and religious prisoners will be re-educated by whatever means are required, so that they may repent on international television programs and glorify the virtues of the one world government for the benefit of all humanity. 6. Classification of the International Execution Center. Clear enough. Says it all in the title. 7. Classification 7. We are still waiting on the details of the 7th classification, and we are awaiting verification of the colors to be assigned to these classifications of prisoners. But this is the basic agenda of those who have planned the new paradise world of the future.
And we're still waiting and always will be waiting for that 7th step because Monast and another Canadian journalist died of heart attacks 2 years after Monast's 1994 lectures. They died in 1996. Both were researching Project Bluebeam, and both never had a history of heart disease. Monast's daughter was also allegedly abducted and never returned to him by the Canadian government in an attempt to dissuade him from continuing his research. Now, that's a pretty bizarre circumstance, but what's even more bizarre is Project Bluebeam's relationship to a certain episode of Star Trek: The Next Generation. So, Andy, shall we boldly go where no one has gone before?
Beam me up, Artie. She couldn't do it, Captain. In the Star Trek: The Next Generation episode Devil's Due, the USS Enterprise D receives a distress call from a space station on the planet Ventrax 2. It says the planet is in chaos. Their entire population is in mass hysteria. They believe their world is coming to an end. Then the transmission ends. The Ventraxians were a technologically advanced society, however plagued by war, poverty, famine, etc., but they renounced it to return to a more agrarian and simple culture. This led to peace and harmony on the planet. According to a Ventraxian legend, the ancient Ventraxians made a deal with what is essentially the devil, except they call it Adra. This deal was 1,000 years of peace and harmony, but in exchange, Adra would lay claim to the inhabitants and enslave its population at the end. The Star Trek episode concerns this very deal. A woman claiming to be Adra shows up on Ventrax and holds the Enterprise and the Ventraxians hostage. She displays various powers, such as being able to cause ground tremors, teleport, and change her appearance into anything. The Ventraxians believe that this is the real devil coming to make good on that deal. In the end, Captain Picard of the Enterprises exposes this Adra as a fraud and wanted con artist who was using a cloaking device to hide her spaceship above the planet's magnetic poles, allowing her to perform her various powers. The Ventraxians are saved.
So it's easy to see some parallels between that episode of Star Trek TNG and Project Bluebeam. You have a con artist tricking an entire population using holograms, ground tremors, or surface jiggles, secret technology, into believing that their society is ending, and that she's a god being, and they should give up their lives to her every whim. Did Monast steal the ideas of Project Bluebeam from a Star Trek episode? We can't know for certain, but in 1994, Joe Engle's book, Gene Roddenberry, The Myth and the Man Behind Star Trek, was published. In it, he described Gene Roddenberry, who, for those of you who don't know, was the creator of the original Star Trek. He described one of Gene's old scripts. He writes, in May 1975, Gene Roddenberry accepted an offer from Paramount to develop a Star Trek into a feature film. His proposed story told of a flying saucer hovering above Earth that was programmed to send people down who looked like prophets, including Jesus Christ. This film was never made, but its core ideas were recycled for Star Trek The Next Generation's episode Devil's Due.
Well, listeners, you're due for a dinner mint after eating the whole enchilada of information we just plopped on your plates. Is Project Bluebeam a secret satanic super plan designed by the New World Order to finally control us all? Will we succumb to the images of our gods and be forced to accept the New Age religion? Or is this all just a fanfic of a recycled Star Trek script? We can't say for certain, dear listeners, but what we can tell you is that Project Bunker Beam is happening right now, and it has just 2 steps. Number 1, to consume the whole enchilada. And number 2, for us to say, thank you, listeners. Thanks, listeners.
Mr. Bunker's Conspiracy Time podcast will be right back after this brief message. Hey, listeners, this is Art. I'm here with Andy.
Hey, how's it going?
Hey, we just really quick wanted to say thank you for listening.
We appreciate that you take time out of your day and spend it with us.
And if you feel so inclined, all we ask is that if you're enjoying the show, maybe share it with a friend.
Tell your friends. Have them take a listen.
Maybe they'll enjoy it too. Anyway,
spread the love.
Spread the love, and let's get back to the show.
Catch you later. I am hot and horny and ready to fuck. Oh, baby. I want to fuck.
Listeners, welcome back. That was our research of Project Bluebeam. Andy was just singing a little ditty. That's staying in.
Okay.
Welcome back, listeners.
I want to fuck.
I think Andy wants to fuck.
What was your first clue?
Hey, Andy. So, Project Bluebeam.
Yeah.
Wow. Was I lying when I said this is a hodgepodge of literally every fucking conspiracy on the planet?
Project Bluebeam is a wild one, Art.
Yeah.
It goes all over the place.
You know what? I got to say that sometimes this entire thing kind of reads like a bad movie that could only have been conceived in the 80s. A Soviet supercomputer is going to wipe out Christianity, and only he can stop it. Hulk Hogan is red, white, and blue beam.
Oh my God, Hollywood, make this movie.
Seriously, like the whole plot of this all is like, there's a Soviet supercomputer with every language, and it's gonna kill Christianity. Like,
yeah, I know.
Like what?
Yeah, this is one that really suffers from not happening. This is not an evergreen conspiracy theory.
No, Manass said it was going to happen in 1983. Then it didn't. Then he was like, it's going to happen for sure sometime in the 90s.
Yeah.
Then it didn't. And then they was like, okay, maybe in the 2000s.
See, this.
And it didn't.
See, this feels like the whole 2012 thing.
Yeah.
Where it's like, oh, okay, well, next one for sure is going to be the big one.
You know, I think maybe we should just talk about it blanket wise first, and then we can kind of break it down.
Let's break it down
if we can. I mean, little snippets. Here's the thing. It is nuts. Like, but it reads like the mad thoughts of someone with problems. but there are little snippets of truth. But they're blown way out of proportion to the point where it's like the idea that those unwilling to accept the NWO will be used as sex slaves or experimented on, and it's like,
yeah,
you know, there's semblance of truth in some of that stuff. Like when we research the MK Ultra stuff, it's like, yeah, like the government did do terrible things to people.
Right.
We've got kind of the Epstein stuff running around nowadays. It's related, you know, but it's like completely overblown to the point where it becomes almost like the satanic panic of the 1980s, where it's like, they're going to wipe out religion. Yeah. Oh, no.
Well, and this has such a weird focus on Christianity.
I think that's because Monast is a Christian himself very much, but I think, you know, he mentions other world religions. I think he's just, I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. Maybe I shouldn't, but that it's just like he's kind of talking from a Christian perspective.
He's using Christianity as a stand-in for any religion?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just, I mean, I think that's the thing, is that makes this incongruity in it where it's like, oh, well, they're going to first tear it down by projecting every religion's deity or most prominent figure.
One of the things I wrote is, what did the atheists see?
Yeah.
What about agnostics?
Yeah.
What did they see?
Yeah. Yeah.
I think the Rational Wiki article wrote, did they see a big picture of Richard Dawkins?
Speaking of the Rational Wiki, I just want to say this. I'm going to just read this verbatim because I thought it was so humorous. So the Rational Wiki, which is in the research, you can check this. They have a section called Structure. And here's what it says. Project Bluebeam has all the usual hallmarks of a conspiracy theory. Number 1, it attempts to shoehorn events that have happened and are happening into its, quote, predictive framework, particularly with references to films being used to prepare people psychologically for the conspiracy's dramatic conclusion.
Right.
2, it shows a lack of comprehension of the practical psychology of those who are not paranoid. 3, it plays on fears of alleged advanced technology that most people, including its author, do not understand. The theory cobbles together past conspiracy tropes, starting from paranoia and progressing to technologically implausible plans with motivations that literally do not make any sense. The theorist's death from a middle-aged heart attack cut off its possible spread early and left it short on source material in English, though there is the tantalizing promise of several books worth in French, but did cap the theory off nicely.
Oh my God. Great writing for Rational Wiki. You know, it's just like at first you're kind of like, okay. And then all of a sudden it's like, they're going to project. It's like, why is NASA using a supercomputer from the fucking Soviets? Why are they using supercomputers from the USSR?
Right. Why did they?
Who's running this?
Yeah. I mean, I guess it's one of those things where it's like, it doesn't matter the governmental affiliation because it's the NWO. So they're worldwide.
It doesn't matter that tensions between what is no longer the USSR is now just Russia.
Yeah, I want to know what happened to this supercomputer after the fall of the Soviet Union. Where's that computer up to now?
With every language.
Every language and dialect for the entire world.
Yeah.
Which, first of all, I don't believe. And second of all, how would they have, in the 80s, a computer that spoke perfect Portuguese and also flawless English and could do it at the same time?
Yeah. Meanwhile, I couldn't even like fucking buy stuff online or let alone Google search anything.
Like now what?
There weren't even search engines.
Like what would this be now? Rosetta Stone is the supercomputer now?
Rosetta Stone.
Rosetta Stone today is going to do this. Yeah. I mean, and okay, since we're talking about projections, sodium layers? What is that?
I don't know.
Sodium layers? Like that's such a weird. Why couldn't it just say on the clouds? Why did it have to be sodium layers? Like, that's where it goes to this point where it's like, what even are you talking
They didn't
about?
have hologram technology like they do now, where you can hologram 50 Cent, or they did Tupac and they did like
Cent.
Michael Jackson and I think they did Prince. The holograms look pretty convincing.
And Gene Kelly was in that Dirt Devil commercial.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, they didn't have, he couldn't conceive it because it was a cockamamie scheme that, part of me is like, I think he's coming from like a decent place, but like then the paranoia and the craziness kind of takes over where it's like, there's some merit. Like, it's like he doesn't want to see. You gotta remember what world he was living in, where it was like he doesn't want to see a totalitarian police state, right? He doesn't want to see. He wants to see one that's free and open, regardless of how Christian focused this is.
Right.
During the 80s and 90s, when the U.S. was engaged in covert operations to overthrow governments, and we're doing shady shit. He's seeing these sort of things, but then it's like, you kind of can't, you're getting too macro with it. You got to stay with the micro, like, no, this is just governments doing evil stuff that they do.
Yeah.
You can't blow it out to, there's going to be satanic ghosts coming through wires with microchips that are already installed in every product. And then the ghosts, what are the ghosts doing? And how am I seeing these ghosts?
I love satanic ghosts too.
I know.
Like what a fun thing.
They're just goth ghosts.
But this, Hot Topic ghosts.
Yeah. They're like talking about the new 9 Inch Nail or the new Alice Cooper album, or whatever else. I don't know what they would have thought in the 90s was satanic. Probably Marilyn Manson was probably the main satanic panic music.
Yeah.
These ghosts are running around sharing shitty rap rock and like new metal stuff.
All these ghosts have had ribs removed.
Yeah, so they can suck their own ghost sticks. We shouldn't shit on Marilyn Manson. He's actually like a decent dude.
Yeah.
In some ways.
Yeah.
He just it's all an act.
Yeah, he's a performer.
So you quit shitting on him, Andy.
Sorry.
The beautiful people.
Marilyn, you can leave. I'm done shitting on you.
Please leave, Marilyn.
I think this is the thing that a lot of real deep in conspiracy theories suffer from.
Yeah.
Where, like you said, it starts from a legitimate place where Monast is seeing U.S. operations in Central America, and he's seeing these banana republics go up in like complete
and
without any input from the people.
It's like we already have the Gap. You don't need Banana Republic.
Yeah. It's the same store.
I had to.
It's the same store.
Yeah. But no, you're right. He's seeing these things happen.
He's seeing
terrible things. School of the Americas, like training these like counter paramilitary groups to either overthrow a government or protect a government. Vice versa. It's
right. And I think it's very fair to be outraged by that and think that this is a terrible thing. But then you go too far.
Yeah.
In thinking that this is all part of some wider, horrible conspiracy against the public, when really it's just a mundane conspiracy against the public.
Right.
We talk about
not
this,
one that even hide that well.
Yeah. We talk about this a lot, about how a lot of these like huge conspiracy theories are actually just probably really routine conspiracy theories where, the government lies to you. Yeah, they do a bunch of unethical stuff.
Right.
But it's not because there's some new world order pulling the strings and trying to set the stage for a satanic religion where Christian children are used in as sacrifices and sex slaves. It's just because it's all power and money and like trying to control the world.
Right.
But most governments are just acting in their own best interest.
Right.
And sometimes they team up when it's convenient.
Yeah, they double team.
Yeah.
And it's like, I'm sorry, like, we're not here to like shit on religion, but like, Christians and Muslims famous for their ability to accept societal changes against their dogma.
Right. Yeah. I know.
They're really going to go for this.
Every Christian that I know would certainly, if they saw Jesus in the sky, would be like, well, that's it.
Yeah. It wouldn't matter if
none of them would question, hey, was that really Jesus or what?
Yeah. Or, but then when he Voltron morphs.
Yeah.
You're going to have certain, I could already see it. You're going to have certain sects of every major religion. And to Monast's credit,
Catholic priests are going to exit the Vatican and be like, we're done. It was all a lie.
I'm glad I never married.
I'm glad I never had a Christian marriage.
Yeah.
Because now it's not valid.
Yeah. No, you're gonna have societal chaos on a grand scale, and to his credit, he outlines that. He says like they have plans to get rid of them. They're gonna have come in and be abducted because, by the way, abduction technology also exists.
Right? Yeah.
I have no explanation for it, but it does.
Also, the one thing that's funny to me about it is that speaking of abductions, that UFOs are all just. It's not that there's actually testing
I know.
flying objects. It's that it's holograms that they're testing.
Manasseh's just going after everybody. He's like, you believe in UFOs? You fucking idiot. You don't even understand. It's actually the New World Order projecting on sodium layers.
Look, the government can abduct you like a UFO would do, but every time you see a UFO, it's just a hologram.
This is kind of getting to the point where it's like even other conspiracy theorists are like, oh, Jesus Christ, buddy, come on.
Yeah.
Come on. You just plagiarized everyone else's theories.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like other conspiracy theorists are probably like, okay.
Here's the thing,
you got
though.
the right idea, but
I do. I mean, to his credit, I can sometimes kind of see, you could see like the headlines of all the clickbait articles being like, why we should accept the New Age religion and why that's a good thing. Like trying to tell you what to think.
Yeah.
You can see that. I mean,
Sure.
For years, you kind of think about it like this. Like for years, for a long time, people believed that fat was really terrible for you.
Right.
When in reality, that was the sugar industry lobbying to put all the blame on fat. When in reality, it's like, yeah, you shouldn't be going crazy for fat. I mean, but saturated fat, I believe, I don't think with a healthy diet and good exercise, saturated fat is not going to kill you as fast as sugar is. That's for sure.
Yeah. Sugar goes straight to your liver.
Yeah.
And that's the issue.
Sugar's bad, baby.
Yeah. But you're right that, there were competing ideas at the time that whenever this was, and, some prominent doctors said that it was fat that was making people fat. And one doctor said it was sugar. And the sugar lobby, which is a thing.
Yeah.
Big sugar.
Big sugar.
Which is what they used to call me in high school.
Because you love to give people grandma kisses?
Yeah.
Come on, give me some sugar.
Also, I was always covered in a fine layer of powdered sugar.
Yeah.
Big Sugar.
Oh, God, come here.
Invested all this money in studies to disprove that fat was, that fat was the problem.
Right.
To prove that fat was the problem.
It was all a big fat lie.
Oh, and it was sweet, baby.
But like that is a real world example of something being told to us, and all of a sudden it's like, by the way, actually a lie.
Yeah.
So in a way, it's like, again, I think we're just proving the same point in a circular manner.
Sexy way. Oh.
Sexy circular manner. Is that there are grains and kernels of truth throughout this entire cockamamie theory, but they are blown completely out of proportion.
Right.
Yes, I could totally see something, things like this happening where it's like we're told to believe one thing by people that we're supposed to trust, and all of a sudden it's like, by the way, it was all a big fat lie.
Yeah.
But you start blowing it out to like, what archaeological truths are these earthquakes going to uncover? Like, hey guys, we uncovered a scroll from Jesus' last days, and it reads in ancient Hebrew, JK, LOL. Like, what are they going to discover that's going to make us question stuff? Like, the Shroud of Turin, which was proven to be false already?
Yeah.
Yeah,
the rational wiki even points that out, that people still believe the Shroud of Turin is real.
Right.
Even though it's been proven to be a medieval forgery.
So you're going to tell me that, like, they're going to hologram Jesus into the sky and people, like...
It's like people are either going to believe or not going to believe. And, I guess to Manasseh's credit, all the people that aren't going to believe are going to end up in camps, I guess, in his thing.
As you can plainly see, the Bible was just a really well put together Mad Lib. I don't foresee humans' relationship with religion ending anytime soon, Andy. And I know, I know you hate religion in every way. You have a neckbeard, you wear a fedora, you jerk off to Richard Dawkins every night. You hate religion.
There's no way around it. Those are facts about me.
Really though, I mean, what is your relationship with it? Do you agree with that statement? Like
That I hate it?
no, not that you hate it, but like I think you agree that it's probably like worse off. It's more of an opiate of the masses type thing. Would you agree with that or disagree with that?
Yeah, I think that it's. I think that
You're not a proponent of teaching it.
No.
Here's
one thing is I used to think that, religion had, I don't know, it's like the myth making of it doesn't appeal to me too much.
right.
But I used to think that, well, there's a lot of good pieces that help you be just generally a good person.
Sure.
And
There's
that's at
good
the
messages.
core of most religions
Right.
is like treating other human beings well.
That's why they all have similar stories.
Right.
Flood stories.
And I
Don't be a bunch of dicks or a big flood will happen.
yeah,
That's
exactly.
essentially the story.
Yeah.
That's Art's Bible.
That's the Bible of
A lot
art.
shorter.
Oh, there's my religion. But I used to think that it was good for that kind of stuff, but now I guess I kind of feel like, why do you need it to teach that?
It's true.
You should just,
You can have real world examples.
it's just, you shouldn't have to have this threat of existential punishment to be nice to people.
Yeah.
And I think that when you set it up that way, that's bad because it takes it away from people to just, what you should say to people is you should just want to be nice to other people. You should just want to be good
Right.
to other human beings. You shouldn't have to be punished. That's a problem with you. If you have to be punished just to be a decent person,
Right.
that's a problem with you. That's not, oh, you're lacking religion or whatever.
Yeah.
It's like you have a problem with your outlook. And I think that religion sort of shields that a little bit and gives you an out if you, I don't have to want to be good to other people. I only have to be afraid of punishment.
I'm only doing this because my religion tells me to do it.
Yeah. And
Not because it's, a good thing to do. I think, I don't know if I 100% agree with you. I think that humans' relationship with religion will always exist because humans have this inner desire to know and understand where we came from and question, and
we'll probably never ever be able to
I don't ever foresee
100%
it.
prove the genesis of humanity.
Right.
And we'll probably never ever be able to 100% prove what happens when you die.
Right.
And those are the two key things, I think. And I think for a lot of people, that is religion, that it's about wanting to be comforted after you die.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, that's a big part of it. Knowing that your family members are in a better place.
And I don't care about that, frankly. I mean, being honest, you're laughing
There it is.
because I said it funny.
There it
But
is.
it's true. It's like I've made peace with the fact that when I die, I'm just gonna. It's like a light bulb that goes out,
Yeah.
and that's it.
I mean,
light
you
bulb.
won't feel anything.
Yeah, it's over.
All your loser friends on Earth will,
It's over.
or not.
At that point for you. And consciousness is just a thing that's in our minds.
Because I'm crashing your funeral.
we
dude.
imagine this thing that's the soul,
Right.
but when you die, you're dead. You just go in the ground and your body rots.
And
And
you're
people-
hearing it, listeners. I told you.
People think that means that your life has no value or worth, but it's what you make it.
And in some ways, it doesn't.
Yeah, in a very real cosmic sense, your life is pretty worthless.
But if you're a good person and you touch a lot of people, that came out wrong. If you're a good person and you touch people's hearts in a good way and help them, you'll be remembered in a way, right?
Yeah, I mean,
You have that legacy that you crave.
and I think that's sort of pointless too, because eventually those people will die and nobody will remember that you existed. I mean, think about people that lived like hundreds of years ago. Like, think about ancient people.
Yeah.
Nobody's ever going to remember them.
Unless you were a king.
But we all contribute something to society, and society continues to march on until the world dies and humans die with it.
Yeah.
And so I don't think you can take too much comfort in the fact that, maybe there'll be some legacy or something. I think the thing you have to do is just make every day worthwhile.
That's a good point, Andy.
So you thought I was going to go pessimistic, but I flipped the script on you.
I guess so. You did also say that you don't care, your body will rot and nothing will matter.
Those are true. That's why you have to give meaning to the day.
Right.
And I think...
But it is almost like Sisyphus. You are pushing up a boulder up a mountain that will just always inevitably come down, Andy.
It's all about...
You can see how it's a very depressing outlook, though, right?
Yeah, I can see that. But it's all...
Sure, I'm supposed to do good things every day, but in the grand schemes, no one will remember it, and it won't matter.
Yeah, but for the people that you have to live with,
yeah,
it does matter.
You have to live with.
We're forced
like
on this.
My wife. And my boss.
No, I think it makes the world better for the people that are living here.
True.
And
Yeah.
that's something.
Yeah, no, that's definitely something to strive for. I don't see... I mean, I think that, I think religion, in some ways, numbers are on the decline.
Downcline.
Now, whether or not these religions need to have a come to Jesus moment, pun intended,
Wow.
and update some of their dogma so that they don't do these kind of archaic things anymore, I should probably allow priests to marry and let there be lady priests.
I mean, what's with all the rules?
I don't know.
Like, it's weird that there's...
It's like somebody came up with the rules like thousands of years ago, and we're like, well, them's the rules.
Yeah. I think, especially in like I mean, obviously you're talking about Catholicism.
Yeah.
Roman Catholicism, it's if they start changing the rules, it seems incongruous with the guidance given by Christ and this whole body of evidence, because one of those key things that's supposed to give the Roman Catholic Church legitimacy is that the Pope is Christ's representative on earth.
Yeah.
So if they go back and change a bunch of stuff that used to be true,
They're on WhatsApp together.
they go, yeah. Then you go, did they ever have this authority at all?
Right.
The whole thing's illegitimate.
That's like when they had, it was called like Vatican II or something?
Yeah, Vatican II,
Where
the Vaticaning.
even more VAT.
Yeah.
This time with more VAT. Where Pope John Paul made huge, they stopped doing the masses all in Latin. That was huge.
Yeah.
Because for that whole time, only the priests knew the word of God because they were the only ones who could read Latin.
Right.
I think they need another one where they just need to kind of drop some of the archaic.
But in a way, that's superficial
stuff.
You
Yeah.
know, that's not like direct guidance.
Sure.
That's a matter of practice.
Yeah.
So some of that stuff they can abandon, but some of the other stuff they won't be able to.
Right.
They'll have to completely reverse the trend of other papal interpretations of scripture, which then calls into question the whole thing. So whenever they make a change, because they're worried about that legitimacy, they have to be cautious about how they do it, which it's so stupid, right? Just change it.
Yeah. It's just so much easier.
If people, what people are sitting around and going, well, it's been the same for 1,000 years. So obviously
A lot.
that means it's legitimate.
A lot, Andy, a lot. You know that as well as I do.
I mean, probably too many.
I don't see human beings' relationship with religion ending anytime soon, though. Even as technology advances,
Yeah.
I see it. That's why I love the TV show The Expanse so much, and I think you would enjoy it too, because this show has gone so far that in the show there's a bunch of Mormons who are building a massive interstellar space ship that they can all live on that will also allow them to travel across the galaxy. They want to spread the word of Mormonism. They want to go to the I'm not as familiar with the Mormon religion, but there's a planet. There's an actual planet that Jesus and I think angels and stuff are from.
Oh.
Heaven is a planet or something. And I think they want to try and reach it. I could be totally butchering the Mormon religion. And for our Mormon listeners, I apologize for my ineptitude.
Boy, that flies in the face of a lot of what I know, which is that heaven is a place on earth.
Ooh, baby, do you know what it's worth? Ooh, heaven is a place on earth. This bunker is of heaven plays in. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
But I always think that is like a much more, like, you know, we've discussed it in past episodes. Factionalism will never die.
No.
There will never be one world thing. As much as like sci-fi shows like to show that, there will still always be factionalism on Earth or within whoever Earth fucking relates with in the future, you know?
Do you think that
If we colonize Mars, that's why I like The Expanse, because it's like people colonized Mars and then they started to develop a Marsian identity where they felt different from Earth. So now it's Mars versus Earth. Like,
Right.
It doesn't matter that they were Earthlings, like born on Earth with Earth accents, like Texas accents. Like they're Mars. They're from Mars. Doesn't matter. You're Mars, I'm Earth.
Yeah.
The French Canadians think the Chinese have a right to, you know, Hawaii.
You know,
It'll always be like that.
humans are just naturally factional.
Yeah.
And nothing's ever going to change that. I mean, for crying out loud, Protestantism. There you go.
For crying out loud, Protestantism.
The Protestant.
Welcome to Mr. Bunker's Conspiracy Time podcast. For crying out loud, Protestantism.
Protestantism.
I'm getting hungry. Okay. Art's blood sugar.
Oh God, he's gonna art.
He's
arting.
Like here's the steps to Project Art Beam. 1, I haven't eaten in a while. 2, my blood sugar drops. 3, I can't concentrate anymore.
He loses the ability to speak English.
What were you saying, Andy?
Martin Luther, the whole Protestant branch of Christianity, that was factionalism. I mean, even within Catholicism, there's factions.
He wrote his 99 theses on the wall.
95.
95. Was it 95?
95.
Oh, fuck. I should know that.
Theses.
All the Protestant schooling I had.
I took 95 feces.
I got 99
Stapled
theses, but bitch ain't one.
There you go.
Hit me.
Martin Luther, Jay-Z.
Yeah. Martin Luther,
The
Jay-Z.
mashup we've all been waiting for.
A few things I want to mention before we, you know, get into a
The
little
verdicts?
fun segment and the verdict. The idea of someone talking directly inside your head is fucking nuts.
That's weird.
Technically, Andy, the only thing you've ever heard inside your own mind is your own thoughts. You ever think about that?
Yeah. You've never
heard someone's thoughts in your head. You've heard them in your ears, and then that's been decoded by your brain. But the only thing you hear in your head is you.
Yeah. That's probably one of the most disturbing things of MK Ultra is that a voice, a thought can be planted inside your skull. That's crazy.
When you really think, like, if you really think about it, like delusions like that, hallucinations, auditory hallucinations in particular, I mean, they're terrible.
It's got to be
just nightmarish.
Because
for people with schizophrenic or various hallucinatory, delusionatory disabilities.
I mean, just imagine laying there
You know?
in silence before you go to sleep at night and hearing someone else's voice inside your head.
Yeah.
That's
And you're not controlling it.
so freaky.
Yeah.
That would mess you up.
It would mess me up for sure.
I would, yeah.
But I can see how that would be a big time convincer of a lot of people.
Yeah.
That this new age God, you know, is actually real.
Yeah. But again,
You're still always going to have outliers. You're going to have people be like, it wasn't real.
But again, there's this whole thing of how are they going to blast this across every part of the globe
I don't know.
to reach every human? And it just goes constantly until people accept.
You don't have to have an answer, Andy. You can just say MK Ultra.
Yeah, right.
I guess it's like a giant, I don't know. I guess because it's waves, they can just play it on a giant satellite and just beam it.
It's like,
But it's going to hit everybody?
yeah. I mean, people in remote mountainous regions of China are going to get this message.
Yeah.
As are people who live on Caribbean islands.
Yeah.
I mean, it's all just gonna happen.
Our friends, the Rapa Nui, are going to see giant Moai statues, and those who don't believe in the Moai statues anymore will see the cult of the bird.
The Birdman will be there. The Moai statues for the Chileans, it'll be Jesus.
What's going to happen, though, when people are like, they'll be like, did you guys see the new Messiah? Like the new Messiah. Oh, my God, the new Messiah. Yeah, I was watching Jesus Christ. And he transformed into the new Messiah. It's like, Jesus Christ. No. It was a depiction of Muhammad.
And then the other guy's like, what are you talking about? All I can hear is Ode to Joy over and over again.
Then some guy will be like, no, I saw Richard Dawkins.
What?
I saw Grimace from McDonald's. What are you guys talking about? That's my God. Grimace from McDonald's feeding me chicken nuggets.
Yeah. Really
Saw the Hamburglar.
Personalized religions. That's one thing too, is the predominant religion in the region. So what about places where what about China?
Yeah.
There is no official religion.
Right. Or Japan is so widely varied where you have atheism, you have Shinto,
Yeah.
you have a few small sects of Christianity.
Right.
Although Christianity never really took there like it did in other regions.
But if you're a Christian living in a mainly Shinto
Yeah, are you
region
going to
of
see
Japan,
like
you'll see Shinto
Buddha?
deity.
Are you going to see, there's
Yeah.
Buddhists there? Like, are you going to see Buddha? Are you going to see
Yeah.
like whatever is the predominant god of Shinto? And look, what about religions like in Hinduism that have multiple gods, or
Yeah.
other religions that have Taoism? Like, what are the Taoists going to see? A giant yin and yang?
What will ancient Egyptians see?
I guess it would be Horus.
Maybe.
I don't know. Maybe they'll see Jesus because they're very similar.
Oh. Just like a lot of conspiracy theories, though, that's one, the technical aspects of how, I feel like theorists oftentimes say, sure, this is possible, but they don't really explain how.
Right.
Where it's like, well, this is technology that the New World Order has.
Yeah, and I mean, he
like, oh,
cites
okay.
a lot more examples that would work for an MKUltra episode, but it's like, but the scale that you are pushing this towards,
Yeah.
the sheer scale, the amount of governments that have to work together.
Yeah.
And then you got ghosts.
Let's not forget the satanic ghosts.
Let's not forget the satanic ghosts. All right, Andy, so yeah, let's get to our verdicts here, Andy. Hit me with your thoughts.
I mean, let me just verticize this all at once, right?
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to parse Project Bluebeam because it is one big package.
Yeah.
And I believe in taking the whole package.
The whole enchilada.
All at once. And what I'm going to say is Project Bluebeam. And I'm going to rate the plausibility of, I guess, the listing of things and the myth making of it. I'm just going to say, like, I mean, case closed.
Okay.
I was going to say plausible molecule,
Yeah.
but I'm going case closed.
Damn.
And I'll tell you why, Art.
Okay, tell me why.
It's already supposed to have happened a bunch of times, and
Yeah.
it didn't happen. There's so many holes in it that it's like on its surface, it almost makes sense, but you do all of the reasoning to make it make sense. It doesn't make sense on its face.
Right.
And it's very detailed, but also very confusing.
Yeah.
And it's funny because for all the detail of this stuff that's going to happen in the future, it's like lacking on detail on how you get to that point. So, I mean, there's just case closed.
Case closed for you.
Case closed. It's not a thing.
I'm going to take I'm going to take I'm going to say plausible molecule only because, like I've been saying,
just like me,
there are kernels of bits of truth throughout these, much like an MK Ultra, much like, what's another one that had like kernels of truth? Like,
COINTELPRO?
COINTELPRO was like flat out true.
Fact.
Like MK Ultra, it's like there's little kernels of truth within this that, that governments can do bad things and will lie and will showcase stuff. But the convoluted, just complicated nature of all of this stuff working in tandem to try and rid the world of religion and control the population, they'll do it through other means. They'll do it through making you fucking just consume and buy more ads and just advertising.
They won't use satanic ghosts?
They're not going to use satanic ghosts. They're going to use means that they're going to be right in front of your nose.
Listeners, in case you can't tell, I love the satanic ghost angle of this.
I love satanic ghosts. It's so they don't bring it up enough that there's going to be satanic ghosts.
That's an important piece of this puzzle.
Running through your phone. How they'll travel over Wi-Fi?
Oh no, my razor. A satanic ghost.
So plausible molecule for me.
Okay, that's fair.
Real quick, Andy. Real quick.
Okay.
We got a fun little extra segment here, a little make 'em up segment.
Yeah.
We like to play pretend.
Sure we do.
Andy, if you were in charge of the new Project Bluebeam,
yeah,
what is your new messiah and your new world religion in order to replace all other religions? And Andy, you cannot cop out and say no religion at all.
Wow. Okay. I wasn't going to cop out.
Okay.
And frankly, I'm incensed that you would even suggest that.
Andy,
I would cop
what
out.
you do with the rest of your family is none of my business.
Jesus Christ.
Whether you want to have incest or not. I'm just trying to watch all my corners, okay?
Look,
'Cause I know you. I know how you operate.
If
You're a satanic ghost.
Yeah, I am. If I was going to start a new religion, new world religion, I think there's only one direction for me to go.
One direction.
Say hello to the new Messiah.
Harry Styles.
Yeah, no. The Messiah would be me. And I think that's obvious. If I was going to start a religion, I wouldn't make somebody else the Messiah. I would basically take credit for being like a time traveling miracle worker. And I would, anything that you can't prove with science, I would just take credit for. And I would, say, oh, well, I proved it by this thing. And it would be, real shoddy proof.
Yeah.
But I think the thing you got to think about with a religion is how do you get people to believe it? And so I would definitely have to do there would be some like punishment element to it.
Ooh.
For like, oh, look, they didn't believe and this thing happened.
Yeah.
And their leg got sawed off in the night.
Right.
Something weird like that.
By a satanic ghost with a saw.
Yeah.
With a bone saw.
Yeah. I haven't worked out all the particulars yet, but that would be kind of the way a skeleton with a bone saw. That would be kind of the direction I would go.
His name is Uncle Stabby.
But ultimately the religion, what would the focus be? It would be like just doing stuff that I think like the real cardinal sins of my religion would be all the bunch of stuff that I think is annoying.
So people would form better orderly cues when lining up for stuff. People would be more courteous.
Yeah.
And if not, a ghost in the middle of the night is going to saw your bones off.
Right. Or, if you don't pick up after your dog, you could be executed.
That's a big one.
Yeah.
You could be executed.
Yeah. You wouldn't be executed, but you would then have to actually, I think I would make you a slave to a dog.
Jeez.
Like you would live in a cage in a place run by dogs.
That's your penance. You have to live in a cage.
Right.
That's what the priests of this new Andy religion are going to say.
Right.
You're doing confession, and they're like,
Right.
well, I'm sorry, Father, but you'd probably call your priest Fajas, because you love Austin Powers Gold member so much. I love gold. I'm sorry, Faja, for I have sinned.
I would either be that or it would just be, I'm sorry, Daddy.
Yeah. All your priests are called Daddy. Ah. I'm sorry, Daddy, for I have sinned. I did not pick up after my dog excremented all over the sidewalk.
Forgive
in the
me, Daddy.
snow. Forgive me, Daddy. For I have sinned. And they're like, be at peace, my child. Live in a dog's cage and be a slave to your dog master.
My priest would have to get married.
As punishment?
No, just in general.
That's the proof their
their
loyalty. It's like you have to endure this.
You have to get married.
They have to get married.
They don't have to be married to become priests, but they have to get married
In order to join the priesthood. Yeah.
Right.
Wow.
There would be many more defrockings, just because that's fun.
Yeah.
People would be frocked and defrocked
Oh, yeah.
at will.
Oh, Jesus. Wow. Or should I say, oh, Andy.
And I would take over IBM's Watson, and then Watson would be the leader of the religion when I die.
Oh, wow. Ken Jennings, look out. You're not joining this religion.
Yeah, Watson would be programmed with all of my biases, but also any other biases it previously
Oh, my God.
developed.
You better be hopeful that internet trolls don't get a hold of fucking IBM Watson, or it'll start spewing racist and, terrible stuff like they did to all the other chatbot AI machines that companies build.
Yeah.
Like that Microsoft one.
Maybe I'll just make a chatbot instead of Watson.
All your followers have to communicate with the chatbot.
Yeah.
This religion's weird. I like it.
Good bot.
Good bot. Wow. Well, that's Andy's bot religion. He's going to have a bot mitzvah. Listeners, let us know your thoughts on this episode, your thoughts on Project Bluebeam, and what your New World religion is, and what your Messiah is. Let us know, and we might read it live on the air.
I got a good hashtag for that.
Andy, let me hear that hashtag.
Hashtag my own personal Jesus.
Wow. Props, Andy. That's a good one.
Thank you.
Duran. We got to get Duranin out of here, huh, Andy?
It's time for us to leave the bunker.
Tweet at us at Mr. Bunkerpod. Email us, mrbunkerpod@gmail.com. Let us know your thoughts. Hashtag my own personal genius. Jesus. Sorry. Fuck. I need some food.
Oh, God.
Andy,
It's
let's
happening.
go get some chicken wings. Anyway.
Let's go get some riblets.
And some riblets. For the titular Mr. Bunker and for my swashbuckler co-host.
Wow.
Arr. Andy Hart. I'm Arthur Stone saying that was the whole enchilada.
Yummy.